There you have it. There's your permission for greatness. There's your permission for living your full, authentic, most fully expressed version of you. I gave it to you. Oh, look, it's 1:11. Oh my God. Look, it's 1:11 and there's sparkle dust here. So guys, gals, everybody in between, do you find yourself waiting and pausing on your big dreams because you think somebody else has to tell you, push you, inspire you, motivate you, slap you on the ass, BDSM you, tie you up, whatever the fuck it is, to make you figure out that, like, yeah, go do the dream, right? Stop waiting. What are you waiting for? You're going to die in a blink of an eye, you know? And so I just gave it to you. There's your permission dust, okay? A lot of us go through life thinking that we have to have some big epiphany. We have to get, a divorce or a move or cancer or someone has to die or whatever the fuck it is, before we can have permission to start living our dreams and living the dream that we have in our hearts and our souls that serve the big dream of our planet. And again, we always talk about this here at the Dance Our Dreams podcast, which to me, it's the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And so that has anything to do with clean energy, mental health, physical health, life above land, life below water, sustainable cities, peaceful and just institutions for people around the planet, no poverty, and no hunger. So there's all these beautiful goals that we have. And so I'll show you. Look at that. That's our sustainable development goals. Okay, check it out. So for those of you guys listening, you can always go to the United Nations, look up Sustainable Development Goals, figure out what you like, or go to my website. There's links there at djvaleriebelove.com/podcast. But I know for me, I didn't get my permission dust, as I like to call it, until I was 22 years old. And up until I was 22 years old, I had a notion based on my programming from my family, based on my programming from the institutions that I attended, whether it was high school or college. I am still the only person in my whole family who's ever gone and paid for her way to college and graduated. And I didn't graduate with any debt. I bartended and busted my ass off, and I slung gin, basically. I was a bartender, and it was great. Like, always work for tips, people. Don't work at like an hourly job. It's bullshit. But especially when you're, 20 years old. But I wanted to be different, and I wanted to make a difference on the planet. And I knew I didn't want to live like my parents did. I love my parents, but they're hardcore blue collar workers, and their life sucked, basically. They lived paycheck to paycheck, hand to mouth, and they just didn't have a very great life. So I was like, well, I think lessons come in many forms. They come in the form of what do I want to aspire to and what do I want to shy away from. And so a lot of my lessons that I got at a young age were who not to be and how not to be and how not to live my dreams. And so that was very valuable. I didn't get the mentorship that, a lot of people get with, my ex-husband had a family that had a lot of money. And so they have, lawyers and people in finance and insurance and industry, and they had a lot more knowledge than I did, even though they weren't trillionaires or anything, but they definitely had way more than I did, And so it took me having some of my own epiphanies to come up with a concept of permission dust. And, each day we have to give our own selves. Nobody else is going to do it for you, babe. Let me tell you that right now. You have to give yourself your own. I have my little glitter. I love glitter. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I know I need bio glitter. So if somebody help me with bio glitter, Serena, you're supposed to help do this podcast with me. So let's go. Give yourself whatever permission dust you need and do it in a physical form. It might sound a little strange, but the experiment of this week at Dance Our Dreams podcast is about giving yourself permission dust to be great, to be happy, to be fulfilled, to be orgasmic, to be on purpose, to be alive, to be authentic, to be you, to be fully expressed, to be fuck yeah living, okay? And so whether you take salt, whether you take sand, whether you take anything, I don't care, take some glitter, do something, put it in your hand, blow it up and sprinkle it on your life, okay? And give yourself the power that you're the one giving yourself permission to go live that biggest life and that biggest expression of yourself. Because I can guarantee you, no one else is going to do it. You might get inspired from somebody like me or another person, an artist, a musician, whoever, a speaker. But you're it, baby. Okay. And so you have to own that shit. And so, doing a physical activity, that involves this dust, as it were, sprinkle that shit everywhere, and remind yourself. So if you're, I would recommend not using sugar because you might get ants or bugs and stuff. So don't use anything that's going to draw ants. Just saying, because I used to live in Maui and we had a lot of ants there. Use something that like you can put in your car. Use something that you can put at your nightstand. Use something that you can put around your vanity or where you brush your teeth. Use something where it's at your desk, use something where it's at your dinner table or your couch or wherever you spend any time. Put it in your gym bag, and every time you see it, make sure that you remember. That's your reminder that that's a message from God, from spirit, from universe to you, to your soul, that it's your turn to live up to your dreams. Okay. And the time is now. We need you. We need you, the massive, yummy, big dreamer that you are, to step up, step forward, and rock your dreams. Okay. Because I look at it this way. I use this analogy a lot with a lot of clients and people that I work with. And imagine that, God, universe, spirit, mother nature, Gaia, call it what you will, says, here you go. You're going to be, okay, Valerie, you're going to be a rose. And Fred, you're going to be a tulip. And, Jimmy Joe Bob, you're going to be, a peony. And, Samantha, you're going to be a lily, whatever. We're all kind of assigned these, genetic things that we have the possibility to live within. The minute that we're planted into the earth, as these flowers, as these part of God's garden, it's our job to pull ourselves up through the hard dirt, because we go in the seed and it's dark and you don't know. And you're like, oh my God, is there anything out there? I still don't get how the hell that works, because I used to garden, not a ton, but quite a bit. And I love flowers and fried vegetables. And I was always like, oh my God, you got to put the seed in pretty deep into the dirt, and then somehow that seed just knows which way to sprout. And even though the light can't get through the dirt, it's like, you don't think it can. Maybe it can. It's only a few inches, but it seems like it's pretty fucking dark. Somehow the light of God, the light of spirit, the light of the sun penetrates, and that essence of that seed knows exactly where to go. And it knows exactly what to do. And it doesn't need to be told like, well, are you good enough to become the rose? Even though you're a rose seed, like, are you good enough? Are you worthy? La, la, la. Like the rose doesn't question its worth. The rose just does its roseness, right? And the rose is like, cool. Oh, look, there's a light. I'm going to go do that thing. And I'm going to seed. I'm going to put my roots in here. And then I'm going to go, and here's my stems. And here's my poker pricker things. Here's my leaves. Here's my flowers. Fuck yeah. The rose just does its thing. It doesn't sit around waiting for the lily or the peony or whatever the heck to go, well, okay, Rose, I guess you've proven yourself and you're allowed to go be a rose now. Fuck that. Okay. The rose follows God's directive. And again, I use the word God because it's one syllable and I like it and it resonates with me now. I never used to be able to say that word. I used to vomit in my mouth all the time. And I think I'm pretty sure I was burned at the stake from some religious bullshit years ago. So, lifetimes ago. But for now, I'm choosing the word God. Divinity, the quantum field, the source. It just, we say yes to these incarnations. A rose has its own incarnation. We have an incarnation. And so what I find one of the biggest problems that I see with people today of all races, all cultures, all political, socioeconomic backgrounds is we are holding back because we want to see like, what's everyone else? Is it okay if I'm about to get a little big and go this way? Because we don't want to, we are afraid to be excommunicated from a tribe and as humans, and that's a natural survival mechanism. Totally get it. And, we hold ourselves back and we kind of look around and we wait for somebody else to say yes to what our truth is. And so that's what I find people doing is we're all these beautiful rose seeds or lily seeds or whatever. And then we're kind of looking around and we're going, is it okay for me to get big and really to be me? Fuck yes. It's totally okay. Do that. Please do that because you are doing a disservice to yourself. You're doing a disservice to each other, the planet, and most importantly to God. And so be yourself, be the most beautiful expressed version of yourself. Don't care what anybody else thinks. Obviously don't hurt anybody, as we all know, practice kindness and love and respect, but honor yourself. And honor the weirdness that's in you. Honor the rose petals that live within you that might be different colors from the other roses in the garden, or you might be this brand new flower that nobody's ever even seen, And so be yourself. And so this week's episode is very, very simple, and it's about granting yourself permission to be you. Okay. And it's really fun. It's a great episode. It's super easy. So every day, what I want you guys to do, whether it's glitter, whether it's salt, whether it's sand, pieces of paper that you shredded up, I don't care. Do something that you have a physical reminder in your life around all the special areas that you go to every day and remind yourself to be yourself. You have permission to shine. Okay. You have permission for greatness and you have permission to be the real, authentic you. Nobody can take that away from you. Okay. Nobody can take that away from you. So give it to yourself. I'm giving it to you now. I'm passing the torch. And then I want you to hold it and own it and know that it's yours. So the song of the week is called Do It Now. And it's by Dub Tribe, one of my most favorite artists, Moonbeam and Sunshine. And they changed my life with a different song called Wednesday Night. But Do It Now is such a beautiful song. And it's, the title of the song tells me what I want to share with y'all. But just do your life now. You may not get another day. I took a little lunch break after this last episode I recorded. I just did a little scratcher. I took a little lunch break by myself, and I love documentaries, and I like to watch about people's life journeys, particularly rockumentaries. But there's a movie called Christina, and it's like a 45-minute documentary about a woman who got breast cancer. And then a week later, after she was cleared, she got notification that she had liver cancer. And she was extremely vibrant. And I'd only watched 15, 20 minutes of this, while I was eating my lunch. She thought she had all these days. She thought she had another day. She thought she was going to get to go do the things with her husband that she wished to do. She thought she was going to go live this full, long life. And obviously I can tell from the story she didn't, even though I hadn't finished it yet, like she passed. So she documented her life about living these last moments of her life, of however many moments, days, breaths, hugs, smiles, effervescent kisses to the sunshine with her cheeks. And so what I'm inviting you to do now is to remember you are not guaranteed tomorrow. And I know you know that. I'm not telling you anything to, but I am like a sticky note for my soul and your soul. And we all need sticky notes sometimes to remind us of what's around the corner and what might not be around the corner. Okay, so this is your permission dust. Okay, go use it wisely, use it frequently, and rock the fuck out of it. Okay, love you guys. So also at Dance Our Dreams podcast, we like to talk about a sustainable development goal of the week, and we like to talk about a charity of the week. And so this week I chose United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 7, which is clean energy and affordable and clean energy. Why did I pick that? Well, I think if we all have this great opportunity for good energy in our lives, whether it's internally motivated and generated, or whether it's an external source from the sun, from nuclear, from solar, or, I already said solar, from wind, from hydroelectric, etc. We have the opportunity to do all these great things. So if we're not operating on good, clean, yummy energy, what's happening is we're polluting ourselves, we're polluting the environment. And so, there's this analogy, they're synonymous, like your internal and, it can reflect your external. So I think having that permission dust is saying yes to good energy in your life. It's saying yes to regenerative energy and not finite energy. And so, what we have with the wind and the solar and the water for now, we have this regenerative capacity to keep circulating this again and again, hopefully with as little waste and as possible. And that's what you get to do with your permission each day. Okay. And so just keep giving yourself this permission of like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then you do it. And then it feeds you. And then you get excited. And then you do the next thing. And you're like, fuck yeah, woo. And so you just keep going. And so you create this yummy hyper upward loop. Elon Musk talks about his hyperloop system. And I hope that works one day. God bless you, baby. But you want to create your own hyperloop. And so having, supporting clean energy on the outside, that can serve our dreams and that can serve with technology and that can serve the mission of the planet is super cool. And so the charity, I like to pick a charity each week that we just talk about and, raise a little awareness. I do my research for charities. Some of these charities I directly support and some of them I'm just learning about because I want to, raise awareness. But I look at a website called Charity Navigator, and Charity Navigator is like a vetting website. And so they put up all the stats, they rate each charity, and they tell you like, is the CEO getting, or, the director getting paid too much, or, is too much money going wasted on advertising and none of it's going to the programs, whatever. So they give you lots of yummy numbers, and I'm a dork and I love numbers and pie charts and all that stuff. But it's a great website. So it's called Charity Navigator, but we choose our charities from there. And of course, from ones that I'm, involved in and support. But this week's charity is called Environmental and Energy Study Institute. And so they're a 4 out of 4 star rated charity. And what they do is obviously do lots of research and, advocacy for clean energy so that we can have a clean climate and we can have a clean earth to live on. So check them out. I'm going to leave everything in the show notes at DJ Valerie B Love, belove.com/podcast. And I'm going to have a couple other cool episodes coming up for you guys. We're going to be doing a tripod model. I'm going to give you guys some training about how to write your love code for life. And it's not just about love, but it's about your love life. Like, what's your big, gigantic, orgasmic love life look like? And every area of it, whether it's money, children, family, mental health, spiritual health, physical health, time, your resources, your relationships and community. So we're going to have a really cool training that I'm going to offer you guys. And I'm excited. So that's it. So peace, love, and granola. Oh, and hold on. So, okay. I forgot this one thing. I wrote down, what are you going to learn? And one of the things is how to be your own fairy godmother. Right. And so really like doing this, getting your sparkles or getting your, your sand or your salt, that is really like be your own fairy godmother and bless yourself each day with that permission. Okay. So that's what you're going to do. So I will see you guys soon. I hope you have the best time ever. Please leave me lots of comments and send me an email or a DM on any of the social media channels. I promise I'll get back to you directly, personally. And I'll talk to you soon.